Tom Vasel. Welcome to Look Back, a video series in which I take a look at reviews that I did a year, 5 years, and 10 years ago, and tell you what I think about those games now, basically, if I think about them at all. So here we go. Let's go back in time a year ago. Woo! So first of all, I took a look at Box Monster. Sorry, not Boss Monster. Box Monster. A giant box. You stick your hand in, you grab stuff, and you're trying to feel around for different pieces. First you look, then you try to remember where the pieces were. It's interesting, it's fine, but you know what? It's so huge and overpriced for such a small game. 5 out of 10. Guildmaster, a game I thought I would love a lot, where you're putting out you're trying to build up these people. It's a worker placement game, but it's the kind of game where if you want to go somewhere and someone else went there, only one of you is going to go there, so you might get, you can't get to that position, and the other person has gotten there, and then you go and it was all these rules and stuff, and the gameplay itself was not very interesting. I wanted to like this more. A 5 out of 10. In magnificent style, Pickett's Charge at Gettysburg. This is a 6 out of 10. Straight up, this is a solitaire war game. I got it. I felt like there were more rules than decisions. I mean, you run your guys up and see what happens. I felt like I was watching the game more than playing it. I didn't dislike it, but I don't think I would go back to it. 6 out of 10. King of 12. It's a very simple little game where you're playing cards, trying to outplay each other, and then rolling a die, and the highest number wins, or maybe it's the lowest number, depending on the cards played and such. It's amusing pastime. 7 out of 10. Shamans. A trick-taking social deduction type. This is very unusual, very cool little game, and it scales well. It's a neat thing. We've done a live play of it here on the channel. I recommend you watch it to see if it's worth your while. I like it. 8 out of 10. We also went over our Marvel United review a year ago when we included in all the extra stuff. When you include in all the extra stuff, 9 out of 10 for me. So much stuff. Normally, extra stuff doesn't increase my opinion on the game. In this case, it does because it's so easy to plug and play. And I'm very excited because I'm waiting for X-Men United to show up. Then a year ago, I did Summoner Wars 2nd Edition. 10 out of 10. Man, it's weird. Those two games a year ago, both such great games. I love them both. The new Summoner Wars, I didn't think the original Summoner Wars was a 10 out of 10. The new Summoner Wars fixed things I didn't even know were problems. Fantastic. I love it. All right, 5 years ago, I took a look at Hounded. This is a two-player game from Atlas, just not very good. Artwork's okay. 5 out of 10. Piranhas. A speed card playing style game, trying to put fish on top of other fish. 6 out of 10. There's a lot of these games out there. Braintopia. This was a kind of game where it's like, ooh, use your brain to figure out what's, you're using all 5 senses and different things. There's even cards you feel. It's amusing like once. 6 out of 10. The Legend of the Wendigo. This is a fun game for kids. I give this one a 7, where it's basically almost secret movement. One person is doing things, everyone else closes their eyes. It's very entertaining for kids. The Fugitive, or just Fugitive, I'm sorry. 7 out of 10. This one is a two-player game from Tim Fowers. And in this one person's a fugitive, the other person's chasing them. It's a card game, and you're trying to jump ahead. The fugitive's always trying to stay one step ahead, and the person chasing him is trying to outguess them. It's very clever, actually. Math Flux, 7 out of 10. You thought this might be lower, right? Look, I don't really care for Flux that much, but Math Flux uses math and other things to come to it. I can't help but like it. Talk. This is a 7.5. Talk is a game, it's an abstract strategy game based on a novel In the Name of the Wind. Works really well as you're just trying to make a connection across the board. Feels like an old game, that's what they were going for, and it works. Amun-Re. This I rated an 8. I don't know why, because it's an 8.5. Reiner Knizia's best game, in my opinion, or one of his best games in the top 3 or 4. Check out our Knizia list for this one. Fantastic auction game in which and it has a distinct 2 halves to the game. This one is being reprinted soon. Man, you got to get on board for this one. It is great. And then 5 years ago, I reviewed Gloomhaven. 10 out of 10. Still a 10 out of 10. Blew my mind. A dungeon crawler, the thinking man's dungeon crawler. Now, I will say, lately I've been playing Gloomhaven online. It works pretty well online, and I think I'm going to continue to do that as time goes by. But yeah, it's a great game. Looking forward to Frosthaven this year. 10 years ago, I reviewed Number Please. Number Please is from Eagle Griffin. It's a bunch of dice and you're trying to roll things. And you know what? A 4 here is generous because they literally put some dice and some rules in a box. Not very much effort involved at all. Merchants. This is a 5 out of 10. I went back and looked at this. I cannot remember anything about this game, even after looking at pictures and my reviews, so probably wasn't worth my time. Off Your Rocker. This is a game about psychiatrists and inside jokes, and you know what? This sort of theme has really dimmed for me as time has gone by, so I dropped it from a 6 to a 5. Mirror, Mirror. This is a kind of a game in which you're moving your pieces, trying to capture your opponent pieces, looking at stuff through a mirror. It's okay. 6. Wiz War. Ooh, I'm going to get in trouble on this one because I only give Wiz War 6, and there's a lot of people out there who love it. By the way, I'm talking about Wiz War 8th edition. This game's very popular. I get it. I get that the impact that this has had on modern games, a lot of cool things where you're running around just shooting wild spells at each other. For some reason, this one just doesn't click for me. It's okay. 6 out of 10. And Micro Monsters. This was a remake of X-Bugs. This is kind of like a miniatures game, but tiddlywinks. You have a bunch of bugs, and you're, shooting them like tiddlywinks all over the table. And if they land another bug, they kill it, or at least do some sort of damage. And they have special abilities. I'm amused by it. It's not fantastic, but it's fun enough for a player to 6.5. And those are the reviews that I did 1, 5, and 10 years ago. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.